All right, so we're recording now.
Ah, jolly.
So yeah, no cassettes in that though, huh? Just all tapes.
All tapes, all videotapes and shit. Let's see which one did I grab here. This is Lethal Weapon 2. See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Classic. And K9. I think that's like one of those dog cop movies or something.
Sounds like one, yeah. But Hear No Evil, See No Evil is really good.
Yep. Wasn't planned. That was all random.
It worked out nicely though.
Yeah.
My dad used to have
a bunch of those.
My dad used to have the exact same looking kind of stand, but it was just full of cassettes like Pink Floyd and shit like that.
Yeah. No.
Cool.
I think once I got into high school, that's when like CDs started coming. But I know like probably the first cassette I owned, and I have no shame of saying it, it was probably the Backstreet Boys. I'm trying to think which one it was.
I don't know their album names, but I used to listen to the Backstreet Boys when I was like,
Oh yeah,
it's that time period for a lot of people. That's just like what I listened. It was like all I heard really. All I listened to was like mainstream radio, so it's like that's all I heard.
Well, my mom was a piano teacher, so it was like classical music in the beginning and all that. Then I guess in our area, I don't know if you guys get K104 out by you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was like the big thing on like the school bus or something.
Yeah,
that got into like
all the popular kids.
Mm-hmm. So it was like Backstreet Boys, and then there was like a shift into like Smash Mouth and Sugar Ray.
Yeah,
and
they made their way in somehow.
And then Metallica.
My son's been getting into Smash Mouth, which is really fun.
I have no shame about it. I think I still got like that. That was another cassette that was probably the first one I bought. First one I got was like Backstreet Boys, and then I bought Astro Lounge. And I just remember the one song Stoned, because I had the line of like, I'm getting stoned, so what's wrong with that? The president seems to be just fine. And I was like, oh, you know what? I like this one. I get it.
Yeah, my son, he started listening to him, and he was like, "Did you listen to these guys as a kid?" I'm like, "That's all anybody listened to when I was a kid." They, for some reason, they ran like every movie had Smash Mouth in it. They were on every fucking music channel between VH1 and MTV.
Oh yeah.
They were huge.
So I didn't have MTV. We had like the basic cable. For some reason, we had VH1. So that was like
I had that at one point too. I didn't have the expansion package, so all I had was VH1.
It's like something, but they'll be like, we'll just sneak this one that's like, you get like 1 through 24, 25, and then all of a sudden it's like on channel 98. Here, we'll give you this one. This one's VH1.
I actually preferred VH1 when I was younger.
Oh yeah,
I liked the video. And I love the 70s. Headbangers Ball. They had a bunch of shit I liked. Actually, I was way more into VH1 than MTV.
Oh yeah, look, VH1. I guess you could say saved me from an ass kicking or something, or from some racist bullshit. Just because on our 8th grade trip, I bought like a spike bracelet, and it was known that I was a big metalhead, and the like star basketball player and the big Puerto Rican kid kind of pulled me aside to like, and they're like, "Tom, we need to talk to you." They're like, "Why are you betraying the race?" And I was like, "What?" And then they started like questioning me on like Death Row Records and shit. It's like name the members of Death Row, and I just looked at them and was like, "Man, I got VH1. I know." Behind the music, what do you want? What do you want? You want Tupac? You want Snoop? Just showed them up and all that. Great. And then I just looked at. Then I enough see my boy Keenan, who you've met, walking. I was like, why don't you ask Keenan that? I guarantee he ain't gonna know those questions. This motherfucker listens to the Dave Matthews Band. Why are you trying to pull me aside?
He seems like he would, yeah. I like Keenan. He's cool.
He hates when I bring that shit up to him.
I like Keenan.
I don't listen to him anymore.
Nah, that's a lie. He probably listens to him every night. Just doesn't tell you about it.
Probably.
That's his jerk off material. But I have a few videos prepped. But how much like are you comfortable getting into like your childhood and stuff? Because I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm open to anything.
Well, I saw you made a post a while ago. I can't remember exactly when. At this point, be probably 4 or 5 months ago about you being kind of mixed race, but also adopted, and like how you never really felt like you fit in with either race.
Yeah,
I
that
thought it was
was
a really powerful
during.
post.
That was kind of response for the whole Black Lives movement, because it was like a weird situation where like if you're a minority, you're supposed to talk, you're supposed to speak, and all that. And I grew up in, you can say, pretty much a white household. My dad's white, and I joke my mom's Colombian, but she's a gringa. My mom,
Yeah, she's
like, I'm the only person raised by a Spanish-born mother who never spoke Spanish to them growing up.
mhm.
And like, you don't realize that's like a setup later on when you go to school and shit, and then all the Puerto Rican kids speaking their Spanglish or something, and they're like, "Nah, you don't fit." Like, because I'm Uncle Tom to like a lot of little white babies and shit. That
Yeah.
if you don't think racism's funny, you've never had a little white kid running up to you screaming, Uncle Tom," and you just being like, "I just gotta take this shit. It's you too cute."
But your name is also Tom, so
Yeah.
and you are their uncle.
Mhm.
So
But I was adopted. I was born in Montana. Adopted fairly quickly, only a few months. Through the Mormon Church. My parents are Mormon.
that worked out
So I
though.
got that's why the post was there, because we never talk politics, but I know they're conservative and all that. Like I see my dad's tweets to Trump and shit like that, and that's why I'm like, I'm in this weird thing. It's like I definitely grew up in a conservative household, but I smoke weed. I have a record for
Well,
drinking and driving.
there's a weird thing
So
now where like it's just because like you might be a minority, you're supposed to be Democrat, like as if you can't be conservative and a minority. Because I know plenty of minorities who are very conservative, actually.
hmm
Especially like if you have like a Mexican. Mexicans a lot of times are pretty fucking conservative if they're Catholic, because a lot of Mexicans are fucking Catholic.
yeah,
Like,
very religious based and all. I know people that went to school. They knew in high school I was going to seminary class. I would go half hour the opposite direction of my school. Like I'd be up at like 4:30, go there, go to seminary for a half hour, and then drive up to the high school. And I did that for all 4 years of my high school
what
career.
exactly is a seminary? I'm not super familiar with that.
It's like a religious class.
I
I
had a
went
feeling it
through,
was something like that,
yeah,
but
we went through the Bible, Old Testament 1 year, New Testament another one, and then you go through I guess you could say the Mormon scriptures of the Book of Mormon. You go through that and all that, and it's just like I didn't really mind. I guess the idea was essentially like start your day off kind of positively,
mhm.
so that you go into like the school and
That's
uh,
not a bad way to go about it, though.
mhm. like it's clear I'm not following a lot of Mormon teachings. I think my 3 DWIs kind of cover that I've kind of strayed from the church. But I never really have anything bad. I love when comics make Mormon jokes, and I just kind of sit back and I just watch. Oh, that one was a good one. That was a good one. Because it's usually about us being able to have more than multiple
One wife,
wives and
yeah.
stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, I get that joke. It's like, if you know the history, it's not that funny, but hey, because I mean, the whole point of that was because it was like, I think it was during the Civil War time and like that, or it was during some wartime. And the reason they did that is like the Mormons were already persecuted all the way out to Utah,
Mhm.
and women weren't allowed to own land. So when the men were called to go to war, if they died, it would go to the state.
Ah.
So the big one is Brigham Young, that BYU, the college and all that are named after. They're like, oh yeah, he had 16 wives. It's like, yeah, they weren't all at the same time, and for the most part, that was just so that these other guys' wives could maintain their land if something happened to them when they were out.
Mhm. Instead of
Like,
losing it all to the state.
mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, it's like I said, it kind of kills the joke, but it's like I let it go. Like I laugh at it and all that. Like I sent my dad the South Park clips of them talking about the Mormons and all that, and he'll send it to members of the church. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mormons. I mean, I think Rogan talks about it. He's like, Mormons are a good cult. Like they're like the nicest people. Like because they just take a joke. I mean, I think it was yeah, it's the because Matt and Trey from South Park, they did
yeah.
the play Book of Mormon, and
Mm-hmm.
Rogan in a bit talks about how instead of getting upset and protesting or anything, what the Mormon Church did was they bought a big ad in the book for the play. That way, like they were like, if you want to learn more about Mormonism, just come down to our church. And instead of getting upset, they just played into it. Like that's a healthy attitude. I mean, like I don't know. I grew up. My dad, I was never baptized or anything, and both my parents. My mom, I think, was I don't know Protestant or something, and my dad was technically baptized in something, but they never practiced really. I don't know, my mom was Catholic. I think my dad was Protestant. I don't know, something along those lines. They never really practiced though, and so I was never baptized. I was never really brought up like that. And my dad got, as he got older, got way more militant in terms of atheism, and so for a while there, I realized I had gotten pretty militant with it, and I ended up discovering because you'll get like a lot of the times they'll sit there, they'll bitch about like Catholics and stuff, trying to indoctrinate people and push their religion on you. But militant atheists do the exact same thing. It's just for their belief, which is like the same thing I have an issue with most politics nowadays. It's like censorship's okay as long as you agree with it. But in general, like you're supposed to defend the person that you don't even agree with in terms of rights as a person. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like most people who make fun of religion, even like comics who are good. I mean, there's some comics who do it and they're great because they grew up in it. But a lot of the comics who never grew up in it and they never really studied it. They read some shit that somebody else said online, then they make a joke without any real context as to what they're talking about. But because nobody else knows what they're talking about, they think it's funny. When in reality, you're kind of just making up a scenario that doesn't really exist.
It's one of those things of I guess, kind of just following the herd of okay, so like I said with the
tribalism,
thing, it's like okay, this is what I've heard, but have you ever met or talked to somebody? Like it's always interesting when somebody finds out that I was that I grew up in the Mormon church and all that because they always have questions or something about it. But I mean, I got into an argument with my friend's mom when she was telling me that I could have more than one wife. I was like, no, that's not it.
it's still illegal in your
really
state.
Can't do that. And like, we literally got an argument. And her closing thing was like, no, they do that down in the South. And I was like, they do a lot in the fucking South that that doesn't make it right.
I have a bit where I talk about the divorce rate in the country and how lesbians have a higher divorce rate than anybody, and straight couples are right in the middle, and then gay men have the lowest divorce rate. And I rounded out with saying, like I don't know why anybody would care who you sleep with if you're a consenting adult. So like, why is incest illegal? But when you really break it all down, like, why do you care if someone has multiple wives? And as long as it's two consenting adults, you can sit there and say like, yeah, it's wrong for you to like bang your sister or something, but like, what? I mean, who exactly is it hurting though? I'm at this weird point. Like, I don't really give a fuck what anybody does as long as you just don't even talk to me. Just leave me alone. I don't care.
If your life isn't going to directly affect mine, your choices and stuff, it's not going to bother me. Like, there was probably a time that I was probably in a dark place in my life when I got the DWIs and all that. That I was as very judgmental and how people live their lives and shit. Not so much like, oh, that's what you're doing or something, but like it was like just stuff that I could see that they weren't happy or something, that it just bothered me or something. And I realized that was more so a reflection on myself more than anything.
Yeah.
And you have to learn to just kind of like take that step back and just be like, all right, just do your thing and all that. I'm going to do mine. Meet up. We don't, hey, no biggie.
Well, it's a lot of people now, like if they have any kind of disagreement with like anything political, it's not everybody, but a lot of people you'll see on social media, like if you vote for this person, unfriend me and blah, blah. It's like, just, I don't know why anybody would ever vote for Joe Biden, but I'm also not going to never speak to them again. Like, it's like, all right, man, you do you. That's fine. I don't get it, but I don't get gay sex either. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I don't want to get fucked in the ass, but if you like it, that's your thing. I mean,
it's one of those like I also see it at work. You know, I do overnights at ShopRite. You know, there's definitely a divide, and you can see that there's the age gap. Like they had a whole conversation last night about it and all that, and my response to it is like, look, I don't care who wins. We just need to settle this so that that bitch Nancy Pelosi doesn't get any more power. I can't.
yeah,
that's like the other one. I don't care about the president, honestly. Like
they really can't
this
technically
is
do too much. It's
yeah, but that bitch Pelosi needs to go.
yeah. I
Okay,
think
I know
most
her
people
seat's
agree.
up for like voting or something. I was like,
Never gonna
that's
get
the
her out.
most corrupt one on there. You can't be going to a beauty salon and being like, oh no, they set me up. It's like, bitch, you're one
Why
of the
did they
people
set
that
you up?
put down a lockdown.
Yeah, yeah. You know why she set you up? Because you made her shut down her fucking business, and she's about to lose her fucking ass. But then you had the audacity to go, "Can you cut my fucking hair and nobody else's?" And then you get upset that she takes that footage and goes, "How about fuck you? How about fuck you for ruining my business?" Who do you think she was gonna do? It's so
That's
absurd how like blatant some of these fucking people are, and this people still defend it. That's where I genuinely get kind of angry. Is the fact that there's so many people who will defend those actions just because they don't like Trump or because they don't like conservatives. And it's like, I get it. You want to pick a team or whatever, but that's so fucking blatantly wrong to do. It's like a huge abuse of power that just happens all the time, and no one says shit. Or when you
no,
do, you're a
because
conspiracy theorist. Like,
these are the rules. We have to do it. I mean, I used to get shit for not voting for a while. Now I'm a felon, so I can't vote. So you know, I just throw that out now at people. It's like I can't do it. So you know, take what I say with a grain of salt. But
I should
my
go commit
thing's
a
always
felony. I
been
think.
my thing always before is like there was never a politician I believe. Like, look, I'll give it to Obama. Obama's a cool cat and all that, but I don't really know what he really did for the country
Nothing
or anything.
good, really. He
Like, if anything, it was just he just kept it stable on the stable line. We weren't.
on the surface level, yeah, but
Yeah,
he things all the things that we don't really want kind of ramped up during his presidency. Usually we have people that are basically good like spokesmen is really all a
yeah,
president is.
that's
And
really
then
what it is.
the status quo continues. Like after 9/11 they just kept taking more and more rights from us. Obama continued that. He started drone strikes. He started more wars after he promised to do the exact opposite. It's just like every other politician. They lie, they get into office, they do usually none of it. That's the one thing you could say about Trump is, I mean, not that he's followed through with everything he said he's going to
No,
do, but he is totally a disruption. Like he definitely disrupted the entire program that they were running.
like I would have loved it if like we look back and we're like, yeah, maybe we should have taken that cue or something. Like the one thing I give Trump credit for is like, there's you don't have to guess with that motherfucker. I mean,
You know where he's going
he's
to
gonna
go?
say shit, and sometimes it's just gonna be like, why the fuck would you say that? But he did, and it's like, all right, I respect. I don't have to guess with you,
I
and
feel like
I
though
like,
being a comic makes it easier to take what he says and go, ha.
yeah, I think it's also that comic mentality. Like,
He's like one of
I
us almost.
I'll admit that like I hate when comics become too political.
I don't talk about politics at all on my set.
No, like I did that for the 2 shows ago or something, but it was more so just like a reflection of my own life and just kind of do
You
things.
talking about
But I
the
don't.
oblivious racist one?
Yeah,
Yeah, you didn't really get like I wouldn't say you got political. You brought up basically the
I
divide and then why you shouldn't be divisive. Not so much political, just how you shouldn't allow politics to divide us, which I think was a good sentiment.
yeah. Look, I've been a strong proponent that I don't like a two-party system.
I don't really know anybody
Because
who does.
it sets up that divide. It
Mhm.
does put us. You have this line, this
Yeah, it's
imaginary line
tribalism.
that you gotta choose which side to be on, and the most hated people are the people that are right there in the middle
Yep.
that are like, no, no, you have to pick. You have to pick. It's like, why? Why? This is my choice. I
I've
should be
been
able to do that.
pushing for people to vote libertarian for so long because the more you vote for it, the more they're on the ballot. And Gary Johnson, not that he, came close or anything, but he had comparatively to previous years, a good percentage of the votes. And if you look, there are libertarian governors and libertarian mayors. Like it's a party that is up and coming. But then elections like this one, Biden starts running ads like "Don't vote third party because it's a vote for Donald Trump," and it's like brainwashing people.
You got AOC doing the same thing of like, that's a wasted vote.
You know
like,
why?
No.
You know why? Because they don't want to give up power to a third party. Neither party wants that. They'd rather compete against each other than a third party. So they try to tell you, "Oh, it's a wasted vote. It's a wasted vote." When really, all you're doing is you're fucking them over because you're telling them, "I don't fucking want you," and they're starting to feel unimportant, and they're trying to manipulate us to voting for them and keeping them in power. When they both suck. Like, I mean, they're a yin and a yang. They're like two sides of a coin, which is fine, but there is minutia in between, and so we just need to start voting for other parties to get it.
Because there's things that I can agree with conservatives. There's things I can agree with Democrats.
Yeah,
there's things I definitely disagree with both sides and all that. That it's just like there needs to be other options. That's essentially it. Because
that's why I've always kind of leaned libertarian.
Anything about this election, let's face it, this has got to be the two shittiest choices right now going. It's just like, all right, so we're here and all that. This is like,
I don't know if I'd say Hillary was better.
This is almost Bush Gore again.
It's actually worse, I'd say.
The reason I say Bush Gore is that it's one of those like, these are almost like the same, like
they're both retarded, but different.
I put it in, I forget which, it was a Raging Against the Machine video where I think it might be Testify, where they're showing both Bush and Gore, and they're essentially saying the same fucking thing throughout the whole campaign and all that. It's like, oh, you guys are essentially the same fucking dude, just different parties. That's really the only
difference. It comes
down
to, again, they're literally like two sides of the same coin. If you go far enough left, if you keep making left-hand turns, you eventually are going right.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So it's like, you can only go so far one direction, but if you only have two parties, you never get the minutia. It's always hard left or hard right, and we kind of balance out over years. If we'd stop doing that, we could balance out substantially faster. But social media, I don't think helps at all. People just constantly want to fight.
I think that came with the PC when all the Me Too's and all that started happening and everything started getting real. That was like, you can see the shift, and everyone, like Hollywood's got to start pretending that they actually give a shit, but it's like, nah, you still don't.
Well, it's weird how much they all just kind of follow the same narrative. To the point, like it's like the worst acting that they've ever done in Hollywood. Like every actor has the same fucking opinion. Like you guys literally all feel the exact same way. There's no difference. And then like you get like James Wood, he comes out and he's conservative. Everyone's like, he's a maniac. I'm like, why? Because he doesn't think the exact same way as you.
Or what is it? Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt got into because of his church that he goes to.
And he's a hunter, and they got mad at that too.
Yeah, it's like, oddly enough, I just saw a tweet from Kevin Sorbo. You remember the old Hercules, The Legendary Journeys or something?
Yeah.
Used to be, that motherfucker, somebody posted that, and like somebody I followed was fucking shitting on him just because he was like, I don't understand why anybody would vote for Biden. And I don't get it either. The thing. It's like that populist mob mentality. It's like, oh shoot, you got to be with us or you're against. And Hollywood's probably the fakest thing you can.
It's literally known for being fake. You are literally pretending to be a different person. And now, when they were putting out those videos, I mean, you ever watch your Mom's House podcast?
Yeah,
they talk about it. I mean, they were lighting them up on there because they were all doing like, what the fuck were they saying? It was the Black Lives Matter thing again. But they were all like getting super emotional. It was all in black and white.
I take responsibility.
Yeah, I take responsibility.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz did a good one on that too.
Well, the dude from Breaking Bad, they talked about him so much. Is like because he like puts his hand in. I take responsibility. It's like so over the top. Like clearly you're acting. Like it's not like you really feel this way.
Well, Andrew Schultz had a great point where he's just like, you guys are. We can literally see your eyes reading a script. It's like, if you need a script to explain why fucking racism is bad, you probably should recheck your priorities. And it's true. It's those are like the kids back in high school that is like, you would see them quickly get whatever was the hottest thing. They had to get it. You had to get it quick
Oh yeah,
to try and just fit
ride
in.
the wave. Yeah, I was talking to
So,
Nick Bailey about it last night. How if you look at like California and New York, extra specifically,
mm-hmm.
they're very liberal places. New York City, I mean, I don't know if
Yep.
I specified that. Uh, they're very liberal, and they always say things like, they want universal health care, higher minimum wage, shit like that, to help the poor. Also, though, if you look in both of those areas, they have the biggest difference in wage in terms of like wealthy and poverty, and they also have the biggest homeless population in the country. Like they don't they don't really care. It's all like saying things to make you like, it's almost like to put yourself above, like on a pedestal, but then also not really do what you mean, or do what you say.
It's they got that checklist of, all right, this is what we got to say,
Hmm.
so we don't look like bad people.
Well, I always
But
do
it's
it because
like,
people get mad because I talk about. Someone got mad at me today because she posted a thing. It's a bunch of KKK guys, and there was like a black couple. I forgot even. I read it. I forgot what it was about, but it was something about like, not letting people get divided and put like a spin on things.
mm-hmm.
And so I was like, it's weird that you posted a picture of Democrats because the KKK was literally founded by Democrats. They also were the South fighting for slavery. But then
Mm-hmm.
now people are tricked into thinking that they care about minorities when there are groups of minorities who are openly fighting against it now, saying like they clearly are just using the black community in most elections because they'll say all this shit. And then the second they get into office, like almost all of their policies hurt the black community. Like they don't ever help. I mean, on occasion, I'm sure there are some bills passed to help, but in general, I don't think that you could trust anybody in a position of power to give a fuck about anybody that low compared to them. Like they don't care about the day-to-day people. They don't care about salon owners. They don't care about minorities.
No,
And
it's the ones putting, what is it, the Robin Williams joke that like everybody in Washington should wear like NASCAR
that would be
jumpsuits
good. Yeah.
with
Sponsors
all
on
of
it.
their sponsors on it, just so
Mhm.
we know where's your point of view coming from,
That'd be
like
good.
who's pulling the strings and all that. But it was always weird. It's weird for me, just like even growing up. Look, I've experienced racism from both sides, uh, and like I think probably one of the ones that like really pissed me off. It wasn't even directed at me. It was actually once again directed at my friend Keenan, because Keenan's married to a white woman. He's
Mhm.
black, and this black guy that I know, who I was cool with, he just started making these comments like, "Yeah, man, I need to talk to Keenan and all that." And he's like drinking at the bar and all that. And when this guy didn't drink, he was fine. When he did drink, he became fucking Malcolm X, and he had to have all these speeches and all that. And the entire time he's talking, I'm like, dude, all I've ever seen you do is fuck white women. Like your black book is white as fuck.
That probably came from a place of hate, though. Like he was just trying to like get back at white people.
Yeah, probably, but like,
Malcolm X, by the way, also changed his tune by the end.
it's one of the, and it's just like I see people like that it's just like, just let it be. If some like, and I even asked, like, have you ever met his wife? Have you ever talked to her? It's like, no. I was like, then shut the fuck up.
Well, the way I look at it is like the idea that not every race is racist is so crazy to me. I mean, because I grew up mostly in Florida. At one point, I was in a very, 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 very majority minority community. I was like one of 4 white kids in a school. First day of school, I saw a kid get stabbed with a pencil for being white. I mean, he like walked into school, he got stabbed, and they're like, "Fucking white boy," and like I was like, "Holy shit!" It was my first day there. There was fucking metal detectors. We had to wear clear mesh book bags. It was a rough school, and being a fat little white kid living in Lake Worth, Florida, in Fort Pierce, it wasn't a good spot. I mean, I saw crazy shit every day, but ironically, most of the time, black people fucking did not want to be my friend. I had like one black friend, or maybe Yeah, like really just one, and he got shit on all the time, called Uncle Tom,
Mm.
shit like that. But he was like a very like nerdy kid in general, so he just didn't fit in because
He
that
didn't
area
fit into the black
that
narrative. Like,
well that area was not meant for anyone to do well. That area was if you wanted to follow and fit in with the other people that were giving him shit, it was because you're going to end up doing shit that's going to get you in trouble. It was a bad area. I mean, tons of fucking problems. And but all this, I mean, the Spanish kids would do stupid shit too. But a lot of the Latinos would be friends with me. Like I had like Cuban friends and Colombian friends. A bunch of Mexicans were friends with me, and they were way more accepting of me than black people. Black people just wanted to fucking. I got shit about how my family owned slaves. And I was like, dude, we didn't even move here till like right before World War II. My family's mostly German. And we moved here right before World War II and then fought against the Nazis. I'm on like the best side of history throughout the whole thing. But you're screaming at me like I did something wrong. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm just trying to like get my A's. Like it was just a weird environment. But I think that people need to accept the fact that every race is racist. Because I mean, white people, I don't like the French, dude. I don't. I think they're assholes. But and then like I know black people, I know Jamaicans that hate Haitians, and if you fucking call a Puerto Rican a Mexican, they'll get upset. Like they don't. Asians
they
don't
don't
like
steal my joke.
Asians.
Yeah.
But nobody likes even their own races, technically. I mean, because you're literally just going off skin color, but it's also cultural depending on where you're from. Nobody likes anybody to a degree.
Cultural, religion, all these things.
There's always something. But you know what?
Mhm.
It's going away. If you just look at history, it's going away. So if someone is overtly doing something in front of you that you find wrong, like genuinely wrong, like they're like calling someone the N-word or really being like disparaging towards somebody, then you know, step up and say, hey, stop that shit. But otherwise, like shut the fuck up. It's going away. I think that sitting here and making it out like it's this massive problem is actually making it worse. Because I remember when I was younger, aside from like living in that neighborhood where I was actually treated poorly by some people, even then though, I wasn't like, oh, this is a real issue. I was like, I'm just not going to talk to those guys, and it was fine. And it's like slowly going away. But now I feel like everywhere I go, there's like this weird tension. Like I remember, like especially after like the George Floyd shit,
Mm.
I was working at Home Depot, and it was like the week of like when all the riots were getting fucking bad. And there was like black people coming into Home Depot, you know, because there's black people that exist around here. And it was like I didn't know like how they would feel with me talking to them. Like this weird tension built. Like I don't want to like piss them off or like make them feel offended, and like it makes everyone feel like they're stepping on eggshells. I feel like you're always afraid to say something wrong or do something wrong. When in reality,
I see that with because I mean I grew up in a white town. Worcester, New York is a pretty white town, even just
yes, it
Sullivan
is.
County in general.
Uh-huh.
So it was always something, and like I made that the joke, you know. At some point, one of my white friends has to make the joke. Oh yeah, we're just friends with you because we don't want to look racist or something. And it's just like that's just the most racist thing you can say.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I was still friends with them, but it's always in the back of my head either way of stuff. And you know what? I'm no fucking angel. I've made plenty of racial jokes towards people too and all that. It's just generally how you go about it. Like
I think if
the
you're
whole
friends with
post.
someone, it's a little different. Because I mean, I have like a couple black friends, and like we could go back and forth, and like we'll literally fuck with each other. And I notice a lot of times, especially with black guys, because like there's so many stereotypes. If
Mhm.
you were to like joke about one of the stereotypes, like my one friend Steve, if I said something, he'll like one up it with like another stereotype about black people. But you didn't even talk about how I like fried chicken, like shit like that. Like a lot of like once you're like friendly with people, though, like it's like you could actually play with it. It's like but it's when you do it, like if you don't know somebody and you start talking about like racial shit or like their mom, it's like there's certain topics you just don't fucking rush into a conversation with.
Oh yeah. Usually I take a bit before I start fucking like even at my job. I'm a notorious bully. I joke that if our cameras actually had audio, I probably would have been fired a long time ago just for the shit I say to my fellow I call my manager a dumbass all the time. I shit on him. I shit on all my coworkers. My biggest dick move is I'll like I'll finish on it. I'll start walking. I'll see somebody working in an aisle, and I'll just start doing the slow clap. And then they'll look at me and be like, just proud to see that you're finally working. And then I just walk away or something just to just leave a little dickish stain. But I don't know. With the like race thing, there are certain lines you just don't, like. I don't like to do the obvious thing. Like,
Well, yeah.
if I have a heavy set friend, I feel like making the fat jokes is just low hanging fruit. And I already know they don't really eat a lot of fruit, so it's just not fair.
So you just took that low hanging fruit.
Yeah, But like, I just I don't like attacking the like. My female friends will say that I attack their insecurities, but I also make it very clear the reason I do it is so that whenever they start thinking of those things, they'll see this stupid face making those jokes at them, and they'll realize how fucking stupid they are for actually thinking that way. No, that is why I get away with a lot of shit that I say to them.
I just tell women about their insecurities because they need to understand that they're below me and to look up. Don't even
And
look
you're
at
the
me when
guy
I
that's
speak to
married.
you.
How am I still single? I don't get this.
Because you're treating women wrong. You have to let them know that they're subservient. And
This entire time, my parents like treat women with respect, be honest with them, and all
not
that.
at all.
I need to just hop in a time machine, slap my parents in the face, and just look at the young me and be like, just lie. All right.
You don't need a
Forget
time machine at
forget all
all. Don't slap your parents. Just slap a chick, and then you'll get her.
that.
It's like caveman times. You gotta just drag them by the hair.
Man, I got a lot of female friends, but yeah,
I can't. I'm married. I have my wife.
yeah.
I'm not allowed to talk to other females.
No, that's like that's definitely a joke I'm working on. Of just like, dear female friends, what you need to understand is that the second you get a relationship, I'm the enemy to that person.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend, your husband do not like me. You
No.
should not talk about me, and you should not bring up the troubles in your marriage to me.
No, that's the sign that they
Because you
want
are just
some dick.
because I've had some do that, and now it's all shit.
Yeah, well, it's gonna get awkward. I mean,
I will bring up this one, and I gotta blow up. I seem to talk about Keenan a lot. I gotta blow up Keenan's spot and my friend Tyler because they have no idea, and I doubt they'll ever watch this. If they do, sorry guys, this is what happened, and I've just been keeping it from you guys for like a year. When we were setting up the second show I ever did up here that I produced up here, we met with a girl to talk about like setting up art and stuff. And at some point, the girl was friends with a girl who many people know as my first crush from like kindergarten or shit. So she had always heard stories from that girl and her best friend, who coincidentally I lost my virginity to. And she's like, all right, cool. I get a Tom story now. It's like, all right, cool, whatever. And we're talking. And at some point, Keenan makes a comment of like, you know what? I paid to see you guys have sex, talking about the friend, the girl, not the friend that was with us there.
mm-hmm.
And I just looked at him and I was like, why would you say that? And then Tyler from the outside throws that hits a home run or whatever the fuck analogy you want to put for it. He goes, all right, because you got a big dick. And I'm just like, this is going to be the story. This is going to be the story. There's no good ending to this. This is not going to end well. I thought it was smart to just like get ahead, tell her what happened. And then to seem cool, then like a month later, I get like a fucking novel telling me how much I'm a pervert and talking about my dick and shit like that. I was like, that's not what fucking happened.
Hey, I didn't even bring
I'm
it
the
up.
victim here. I did not say that. And like there are a whole bunch of other details in that story just getting fucked up. It took like a year later. It was actually after that post that you started this whole conversation. After that, I had a bunch of girls from my past be like, "Hey, I'm sorry about my dad." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, okay." So I wasn't even talking about you guys, but okay.
Yeah, your dad was pretty racist. Like,
it was like, "Oh, cool." I had a feeling, but what dad really is cool with meeting the guy that's railing out their daughter.
I wouldn't.
I don't think many are.
No. Some are. They're weird, but
Yeah. I think that would be the weird. Granted, you know what? That'd be the ultimate mind fuck. I almost wish I had a daughter so that like I meet the guy. What's up, boy?
you're hooking up with her. You hear him through the door. He's like, "Get it, get it." He starts slow clapping.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll do my.
He's like, "Glad to see you're finally working."
Give him a handshake, slip him a condom. You better use it.
He's like, "You better not." Not with my daughter. You better not.
Yeah. It's like, well, you got a good grip, kid. You got a good grip, kid. All right. Or do the bad boys thing or something. I just, just start doing the whole. Yeah, you ever been with a man before? You wanna just to see the reaction from all of them.
I'm gonna spark up this little bit of a joint that I got left.
Mm.
No, it's legal here.
That's right. I think that's the funniest thing. Like, more people vote on the legalization of marijuana than they vote for the president.
Yeah. Well, that's more important.
Yeah.
Great. It's not technically legal for probably the next year, but whatever.
Whatever. Go Joey D style.
He's in Jersey, so I'm sure he's happy.
Mm-hmm.
He has Rogan's in Texas, and he still doesn't have it.
Yeah, he still don't got it.
I got some videos. We're gonna give this a shot. Being as I usually only go for an hour, so we got 20 or so minutes left, which is I'll go over. It's fine with me, but I want to go through these videos while we got them.
All right.
Let me know what you think about this one. So before I close out the screen, if you look, this kid at the top, he never leaves his desk.
I don't think he's even watching this guy do anything.
He's just sitting like nothing happened. The teacher, actually, if you watch when it first happens, okay, so that's where it happens. Watch how long since he hurts himself till the teacher actually comes to help.
Oh no, I noticed that. It was
He says fuck too. The way he walks over. He went back, he stopped the music. He's probably like, this music's so fucking stupid. He's screaming.
My dude deserved to get hit for even trying such a fucking thing. Oh, man.
Every time I bring it up, I mention, I think he's trying to do the Napoleon Dynamite thing.
Oh.
If you're going to do that, you have to, nail it. That's why it worked in Napoleon Dynamite. It's because the choreography was legitimately wow, it's weird and stupid, but it was really well choreographed. So you have to really commit and then do well. You can't half-ass it. He's basically bombing, and then he blows his fucking ankle out and cries like a bitch. And I say that every time too. No matter how bad I get hurt in public, I mean, I'd have to get hurt fucking bad to make a noise, because I want to make a noise, but the first thing I do is go, because I don't want anyone to see me be a bitch in public.
Oh no, there's gonna be a oh fuck kind of moment that I got a thing with my hands sometimes that they'll just cramp up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like I want to say like a lockjaw or something like
carpal tunnel or arthritis.
Something. I've had it for a while. I have muscle spasms sometimes where somebody was I had a girl in high school. She was just touching my back and it was just all twitching and all that. All the muscles back there were just twitching and shit. But I have a thing where sometimes I would put up a can at ShopRite when I was working, and my hand will just lock around it, just it's just closing or something. And there's times I just drop to the ground, just oh motherfucker, just oh. I have no shame. I have no shame.
Hide it as best I could. That's the one thing. I'll do so many embarrassing things, like go to open mics, but I won't. I won't do that. I won't. If I get hurt, dude, I don't know what it is. I've blown my fucking knees out. I had a guy. We were doing jujitsu, and I had him in like a neck crank kind of position, which is kind of a dick move on my part. But he had me in a knee bar, and so I was going slow with it, just trying to see if I could slowly tap him out before he tapped me out. And I guess I think I was getting kind of close because then he just kind of fucking like jerked back. And a knee bar, it's like an arm, an arm bar is kind of like hyperextending it. But it's basically, it's bending like the knee backwards for anybody who's listening and doesn't know. So my knee was going the opposite direction, and he kind of just yanked on it. And I felt, and like kind of even, I felt like I heard 3 pops. It was like, pop, pop, pop. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he like let go. And then like I stood up, and like I it didn't hurt yet, but this weird feeling in my leg.
You
I was like,
tell something wasn't right.
It felt rubbery. I was like, oh, my leg is fucked up. And then he was like, you good? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you want to do another round? I'm like, sure. And I fucking finished out like another like 20 minutes of class. And when I go to leave, I get on the staircase, my fucking leg gave out. I'm like looking around, making sure that nobody sees me. I'm fucking grabbing the rail, going down the staircase, like trying to look as normal as possible. Then I get to my car. And once I got home, I get out. My wife's like, are you okay? I'm like, I can't fucking walk. And I didn't have insurance. I was like 3 weeks. I couldn't fucking walk. I was using crutches and shit at work. I was sitting on crates. I was a butcher at the time. So I'm sitting on crates, like grinding burger and cutting fucking steaks.
Like, I did that. I had an instance in college where there's like a little drop off into the communications department. And I see my roommate and a bunch of his friends there. So I just kind of jumped, and I just stuck the landing. And I could tell I fucked up my foot. And I just like acted cool and went. The problem, I went to SUNY Cortland. The problem with Cortland is the school, it's all uphill. Everything is up at the top of the fucking hill. And I lived at the bottom every day. So it's just like, I got to leave a little early because I'm going to be gimping up this fucking hill. And I like knew as I was walking away from them, I was like,
12 o'clock. It's like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. People look over there to see you.
It's like, I bet that hurt. I was like, nah, that didn't hurt. They didn't hurt at all. I try and walk it off, and then once they're gone, you're like, oh my God.
That's how I am every time. I've gotten hurt, and like I've wanted to scream, but for whatever reason, that's the one thing is shame. I just will not allow myself.
No, it's a pride factor. It's like, nah.
I guess. I don't know what it is. I don't know what my issue is with it, but it's something like some deep-seated fucking thing. I just have a weird issue with it. Like this guy, this would happen to me because I would literally not call for help. This is where like it would backfire on me.
Oh, that's one of those. Yeah.
Look at his legs bend.
Oh. Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm good. We're fine. It's okay.
I was holding on here for a little bit.
Yeah. Like, I'll be okay. Like you never even hear him yell on the camera.
No. That's like as bad as that like wrestler video that they got out for the backyard thing.
When he lands on his neck?
No. What he does, he gets up on the second ropes, he does like his little pose or whatever. Mm-hmm. Then he jumps off, and his legs literally just go
inverted. Yeah.
Yeah. They go inwards, and you just see him crack.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That's rough, dude.
Like that was rough, and I hear that like he's still doing surgeries and shit. And
yeah, dude, you can't do that to your legs.
They're talking about amputation also. That it was just that bad.
Your knees. Let me see if I can find that. You have any idea like what to like even search that under?
Mm-hmm.
What would you even look that up under? Would that be like wrestler?
Wrestler breaks legs, but I mean, like, I'm sure there's a lot of videos on that too.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I see a lot. I don't see one that looks like it. Oh fuck.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was. It was just something that just started circulating, and then I saw somebody like posted on
GoFundMe. GoFundMe launch for backyard wrestler who broke both legs.
Yeah.
I'll show you this article. Of course, he's got like cane.
Yep, that's the dude.
Is there a video? God damn! Look at all this shit. I need a fucking pop-up blocker. Oh, that didn't help me at all. That made it worse. Oh, here we go.
There it is.
Oh my god! They don't even come and help him either.
I think everybody's just in shock.
Oh my god, dude, that's so fucking rough. The music's still playing. That's the worst. And like all these videos, when someone gets hurt, it's like the music's just always playing in the background. Like no, that's why the
You
teachers
got
shut
a
it
theme
off.
song.
Yeah, boom, boom, pss, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
I just have the beat in
That's
my
probably
head.
right when it broke. No, they do it. It's I don't know. I've seen shit. I know. Arlen, I don't know. Were you at Tap the night this kid Adam came in there, and I guess was real disrespectful or something that Ryan actually had to go up and chastise him.
Oh no, it's not. It's not Adam. You're talking about Anthony Quinn.
No. There was another time. I was there for Anthony Quinn. There was
Yeah.
another guy who went in there, and I think it was during Billy's set. And I know this because one of my friends works at Tap,
Mm-hmm.
and he sent me the video. He was like, "Yeah, look what this guy did." And that guy was like a backyard wrestler or something. He knew one of my friends, and he was like, "Hey, I want to try and do stand up." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, you should probably do some open mics or something." And I told him about Tap. I guess he went over there and he got belligerently drunk and started talking shit during sets and all that. And Ryan did his chastising dad thing of like, that's real disrespectful. You know what? It's like the most like non-aggressive but aggressive. Like
He's really good at that. When he did it with Quinn, because I didn't see that incident, but the one with Quinn, when he came up after, like I've seen Ryan a few times because I've been to Tapped a decent amount. And I've
mhm.
seen him do sets where it just kind of seemed like he was just hanging out, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And I've seen him do sets where he came up and just fucking like was so smooth with everything, and just like kind of knew how to play off the crowd like perfectly. And like with the Anthony Quinn thing, he went up, he knew exactly what to say. Everything he said was fucking hilarious. It was like so quick witted. I was so shocked. I was really impressed actually. Yeah, he's a. I wish he would do Tapped again. But New York's still kind of fucked. I think in terms of
Yeah, they're kind
places.
of down there. Another thing, like I said, we'll see
He
what
messaged me
happens
not too
after.
long ago, but he said like they're he's busy. He's bartending a lot there now, but
Yeah,
I don't think they could
because
do
my friend still
anything.
works with him and all that.
Yeah,
I know he's got a podcast or something where he
he with his
watches
mom.
Marvel movies with his mom
Uh-huh.
and all that.
That's how he
Uh,
messaged me. He messaged me on Instagram from that
yeah,
account.
through
So
that. Yeah,
I was like, oh okay. Yeah, he's a fun guy. I want more mics around,
yeah. That's
especially for you. You can't really even go to many. There's like
nah.
one out
That's why I
by
was
you.
going down to like when I first started doing stand up. I went down to the city. I would
It's even
pay the
further.
$63 round trip for the bus to go down there, sleep on a friend's couch, spend a weekend essentially just hitting up whatever open mics I could. Uh, it's not feasible now since all of them are pretty much closed. I mean, I know there's some outlaw shows because I've gotten emails about them that I'm
The
probably
city
going to
is
try and do.
city's kind of weird anyway right now. Like walking around there is kind of sketchy,
Yeah,
especially
well,
right
yeah.
now. You don't know.
I
You
know
could
I'm going to
be
be down there near the end of November. I'm going to go down there,
you're gonna be there
probably
the
do
day that they
something.
announce the new president, and it's gonna be wild.
Oh, oh yeah.
You're just gonna be walking there like Trump won, and all of a sudden fucking riots break out. Like I just want to do a set.
Yeah, this is why I've been like, all right, I'm going to wait before I solidify this because, I've heard rumors of like a second lockdown or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Not that
I'm
it like
also
it didn't affect me just because you're technically an essential worker when you work at a grocery store.
yeah. So you still have a job.
And it's like, oh, cool. I work nights anyway. I'm isolated from people every day.
Yeah,
It's like, all right, so everybody's entering my world now. I
yeah,
like made the
basically.
same joke about like my friends all hitting me up, like, dude, Pornhub's got fucking free memberships. I was
Uh
like,
huh.
I already paid for my year membership, but whatever. You know what? Welcome to my sad existence, assholes. You
I
actually
uh
have a girl home. I don't get it.
I I was a stay-at-home dad during the beginning stages of the lockdown because I had quit ShopRite. I was pursuing comedy, and then
Mm-hmm.
the lockdown hit, and everyone was bitching about it, and I was like, my day-to-day is exactly the same. Nothing has changed for me. And then the mics started disappearing, and then I was like, now my day-to-day is getting changed. And then I love my family. I like if we don't see each other a lot, we start to get annoyed. Oddly, like we get like attitudes when we don't hang out enough. But it was at the point where like being home all day with all of them all the time, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out. And so like I got like another job just to like make some extra money, be out of the house, give me something to do. But now that I'm working, the quarantine's really affecting me because it's just fucking annoying. Every time you go to do anything, I go to run an errand. The other day, for the first time in a while, because I got so used to wearing a mask, I was going into Walmart to see if they had like discount Halloween shit because it was like the day after, and I got all the way to the door, and then I realized I wasn't wearing a mask, and I had to fucking I don't park close. I don't look for a parking spot. I'll just park like fucking a quarter mile away from Walmart.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh fuck!" I had to, like run all the way back to my car, and they didn't even have anything on fucking sale, so it was a wasted trip.
Now it's no, I work nights. I usually isolate. I'm a serial isolator. That's probably why people hit me up because they already know that I'm. Especially since I started doing stand up and I've just been more. Actually, no. It was after I got out of rehab. It was like, all right, I'm just gonna be open about everything. Fuck it, whatever. So honest about thoughts of suicide, honest about alcohol and shit like that. I'm honest about all that shit. So
Well,
I
next
guess
podcast we should get into that. That'd be I wouldn't mind doing that. A little late into this podcast, but
yeah. That's a
next
that's a
podcast.
whole nother story. We can.
Yeah, but it's cool to have a good reason for you to pop back on soon.
I have no problems with that.
I got a couple more videos before we jump off. So,
No problem.
well, this is the last one that is the next video is going to be fucking wild. Yeah, you'll see. But this one, just let me know what you think, because this one will catch you off guard.
Oh, is that a rock?
Yeah, here. No one ever catches it the first time, but listen to the impact too. It just fucking whacks them.
Are they going in there for him?
Yeah, they're jumping in now. That's basically how it ends. It's
Jeez.
yeah, I don't know why I like videos like that. That one just caught me off
Yeah,
guard.
I can tell you watch your mom's house. I can
Yeah. That one specifically. There was another one, but it's hard to find now. I think the guy died. Because when it first got posted,
I know. There's another one. I think that guy died. But yeah.
Well, when they first posted it, because all those are on this subreddit called "Hold My Feeding Tube," and then something catastrophic usually happens. Except for the kid breaking his ankle, that was cringeworthy or something like that, or holy cringe. But that guy, the other video, it said potential death at the top. Like it wasn't like they put it in the title. It's like the website itself recognized it and gave you a warning. And then it's hard to find now. So I don't know if it's all taken down because he died, but he was on like a big like cell phone tower and he wasn't wearing the proper gear, I guess. Cause like something happens and you just see him fall and he hits like 4 rungs. And I mean, he falls like, it's gotta be like 50 plus feet, like 3-4 stories at least. After he hits the second, he fell from further, hits a pole, then falls like 3-4 stories.
You're a big fan of the Faces of Death.
I've seen it. Not a big fan, but I've seen it. I've seen a lot of shit. I don't like. I have a easier time with people getting hurt than animals and children. Children I can't see get hurt, and then animals that pisses me off.
I think I have a joke talking about it. It's like, no, everybody talks about it, but let's be real. You see all those like Sarah McLachlan and the Hungry Children fucking videos and all that. Like I would see them in ShopRite. I'd be like, oh, that's rough. But then you show me the pet thing. I was like, everybody, you've seen those movies where like the main character's daughter or son gets killed or something, and then they go on a rampage. You're like, I kind of get it.
Then
Maybe
John
you're
Wick
taking this a
comes
little too
out.
far. Then John Wick comes out. He's like, yo, they fucked up that puppy. He's got free reign to do whatever the hell he wants with it. For three
Everyone's
movies.
fine with it.
Three
Yeah.
movies now. 3 movies now.
I think the 4th is coming out soon.
Yeah, they're gonna make a 4th one too. It's like
He
they
was
fucked up that puppy.
He was filming that at the same time as the new Matrix movie.
Yeah.
Which is going to be weird to see. I'm hoping it's okay. I don't like the last 2 Matrix movies. Also, he died, so I'm confused. At least I thought he died.
Yeah. Trinity's supposed to be back for that one too.
She definitely died.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like I have no idea. I guess they're going to be like computer programs or something. But then there are like talks. Maybe it's like a Morbius. Morpheus. I keep that.
Morbius is a vampire.
Vampire. Yeah. I was like, God damn it! Which one am I thinking about right now? I knew which one I wanted. I just like, how do I pronounce this?
It's like 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Morbius was in like every other episode.
Of course, he hooked up. That's where I learned about Blade. I was like, oh shit, there's a black superhero,
and he's a vampire.
Yeah, all right. It's fucking
Wesley
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes back in the day.
Yep. People forget about Blade.
I haven't seen it in a long time. The biggest thing I forgot was Ryan Reynolds and his extremely groomed beard. It was like spiky.
That's the third one. That was forgettable.
Yeah, well,
it had like Triple H. Had Triple H from the WWF.
Probably did,
WWE.
Yeah.
He was one of the vampires. I don't think he had a single fucking line in the movie.
Probably couldn't give him one because he's not a good actor.
Yeah, and he had a whole fight scene with Ryan Reynolds in that one.
But
what I remember from the first one is like the blood orgy.
I kind of remember that.
Right, that's how they opened up the movie. It's like they bring
Shaft.
this fucking schmuck into this vampire thing, and it just starts sprinkling blood. And then there's fucking Wesley Snipes looking like the coolest motherfucker in the room. Just shit. I don't know how he got those sideburns, all that cut and all that. Guarantee if I was older at the time, I would have seen a bunch of motherfuckers rocking that haircut or something.
Oh, I don't doubt
I'm doing the Snipes, doing the Blade.
Pretty sure that was pretty popular, actually, if you look back at that time period.
It's like a retro 80s, 90s look.
Well, sticking on the topic of orgies, this last video I have.
This isn't like the video from your Instagram post, right? Okay?
Which one is that?
Find that on my own.
Oh, the porn from the background.
Yeah,
that one?
Porn in the background.
This one, we found this on a porn site, but now I just go to its own website. It's a cartoon show, and it's kind of like a superhero Friends, or like kind of like when you see it, you'll see a very close resemblance to a lot of cartoons, but they make it like lessons about sex as opposed to like lessons about being friends and stuff like that. It's always like some weird sexual lesson, like where the clitoris is. And like, it's just so ridiculous. I was going to show you either this or there's a vagina on your neck, but maybe I'll do that one next time. But if you watch the episode with Aaron,
vagina next time.
Oh, I showed Aaron Levine that one. And I think I showed Dave Namery, and they both, well, Aaron finished it, but Aaron tapped out. But that video is ridiculous. I'll show you that one next time, though.
Yeah, I could see Dave finishing that one. Just from
I don't think Dave did. Dave
did it?
No, there was that one, and there's Nazi cuck porn is another one I used to show, where a guy used to be a Nazi, but now he's trying to like make amends, but he doesn't have 40 acres and a mule, so he got a black guy to come to his house to bang his wife, but she doesn't want to. So the whole time there's like this super racist banter, and the black guy's just like fucking her the whole time. It's like the most ridiculous.
If he's a Nazi, it should be a Jew fucking his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesse Owens already got it back for black people during the Olympics, where he just fucking showed up all of Hitler's, superior race thing.
Yeah, well, that didn't. Yeah, the look on his face during the entire thing is great. He's so pissed.
All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, Jesus.
It looks like a Netflix logo at the top, too, where it says a Black Pills original series.
Yeah.
Not sure how loud it's going to be. That should be a good volume, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, Jesus.
I'm not sure how even long. Yeah, it looks just like the Netflix logo.
My name is Pete Voodoo. I like to sing on sunny days. It's so exciting too when all my friends come out to play.
It looks like a Adventure Time animation.
Oh wow, yeah, I can't wait to see
I'm getting
whatever's coming next.
You remember Happy Tree Friends
Yeah.
Hey there, Kevin.
and Retarded Animal
Your
Babies?
job as a mailman?
Yes.
I am,
Yeah.
but my mailman's uniform just isn't warm enough for this weather. So I've gotta chill.
But Kevin, you don't usually wear any clothes.
Oh yeah, that's true, come to think of it. Hey, there's some mail for you.
Oh wow! It's a postcard from Struble, my foreign pen pal.
I
Guten
don't
Tag.
like any foreigners.
Hey, come on, Tuffalo. It's not cool to be racist.
Look, I ain't no racist. I'm just saying that foreigners, well, they ain't like us.
But that's good. Diversity makes life more interesting. Let's see what Struble has to say.
Hallo, meine Freunde! Has agreed I will be coming to visit you in your pretty forest Samstag. I can't wait to meet you. See you on Samstag. Tschüssi!
What? A foreigner in the pretty forest? No fucking way!
Hey, calm
This
down.
episode's already
Tuffalo.
not
You're
as
being
graphic as the other
prejudiced
ones.
against Struble. I'm sure you'll end up really
Nope,
liking
this is
him.
just like dick
Let's go.
service, really.
This is the third episode.
Hallo, people do. Hallo, everyone. Wie geht's?
Wie geht's? How are you?
Oh, fuck! Voices
Oh,
in my head! Ah!
They're even giving language
Ach, meine
lessons.
dear people do. I'm so happy to
We
meet
got like
you. Ah, what a pretty
3 minutes
forest,
left,
yeah?
roughly.
But... Oh, you know that your weenie smells like cheese, you dirty boy? Here, I have a wet wipe.
Oh, my.
Okay.
No, let me do it. Hygiene is very important where I come from. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kind of a freaky way to say hello, don't you think?
This
And
episode's
here
just
you
getting
are,
fucking
meine
weird.
Freunde. I've organized a
Every episode's weird, but this one's
Oktoberfest
extra
just for
fucking
you
weird.
guys. Let's party to bring
Yeah.
together the children. Here, people do.
I feel bad for even showing you this one.
Specialty.
Well, it makes a change from juice.
I'm not gonna show it off,
Kinda
though.
warmy, almost like a herbal tea. This stuff's freaking awesome. Beer me up, foreigner!
Ach, that makes
Oh
me
my.
happy, meine Freunde. And now it's time to get this party started. Okay, bring in the Gretchen und das Akkordeon. Oktoberfest!
Oh, no.
This one's so much more retarded than the other episodes.
You can't have any dessert before you've tasted the main course, guys.
What the fuck?
What?
You fucking know how to party.
All right, so the other episodes were not like this.
A wet wipe. I need to scrub off these German microbes. You have no idea about hygiene standards, you bunch of ice wipes. Fucking savages. That's it. Auf Wiedersehen. Und wer bist dich, du
I mean, the other episodes were like
Dich, du Scheichkerl.
the one guy
Go
stuck shit up
fuck
his ass and he was
yourself, you
getting
bunch of
sick.
assholes.
And then they're like, why would he stick shit up his
This is
ass? And the
bad,
chick like
Kevin.
taught
think that I've
Peepee-Doo
upset
about like
Struble.
why
I'll never
a
wanna
guy
go
would stick
back
something
to
up his
the
ass because it tickles his
forest.
prostate, and she starts like tickling his
Don't be
prostate and it
sad,
comes everywhere.
Peepee-Doo.
So it's shit like
You know
that. But this one
I
got
have
way
lost your
grosser.
foreign pen pal today.
Yeah, a lot of shit.
Same
A lot of it
time,
has.
you gained a much more
This one was just
tolerant
straight up
friend,
like
you see?
shock value.
You were right, people.
Yeah.
I love these cultural exchanges.
Like why? That wasn't necessary at all.
Oh.
I'm gonna sign up for an exchange.
I'm ashamed that I showed you that. I feel really bad now. I thought it was gonna be way funnier.
Brought me back to high school.
I'm gonna have to start. Do you ever watch E-Bombs World?
Yeah, I did back in the day.
Maybe I'll start doing that. See if I can find the old videos, especially because like they like that Backstreet Boys song. Did you ever hear that one?
Which Backstreet Boys gay?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You know that one?
They had Papa Smurf. You ever see that one? Like,
I
Smurf,
think
lick
so.
your ass, yeah, lick my
Yeah.
ass, bitch.
Yeah, I was like, I'm trying to remember the actual beat. No,
Yeah, all
that.
their tongues are blue. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll start
Yeah.
doing that. I'll bring that shit back. Bring back the fucking 90s and early 2000s.
If you want a fuck, I forget. I think it was Romp or something. That they used to have a game where the whole goal is to try and get the main character laid or something, and you had to make choices or something, and it would be something. I think the main character was Jake, and he was the most wiggerish motherfucker you ever met in your life. He was like, "Yo, girl, what's up?" And you just had to make a choice: buy her shots or offer her cocaine or some shit. Just like you go through all these
That
choices.
sounds kind of familiar. None of them sound like good choices, though. He sounds like a very unlikable character, but
oh, he is horribly unlikable. But he always and he would be like, "Yeah, you gonna get these nuts?" Some shit like that. Like, is just like the most obnoxious person you could think of.
next time we do a podcast, I'm gonna pull up something off E-Bomb's World. I have one in mind. It was a sketch I used to like. I'll show you that. I want to talk about rehab and stuff like that, and then we should play that game. We should do the game and take the decisions together, and just try to see where we get in the game.
Oh, yeah, I'll look it up. I'll find out. It's I know there's one that was like really tough. That was like, you know what? What would I do? Well, all right, I'll take the acid. And there was just no good endings for anything for this guy.
That's probably the point. Is like it's almost impossible to get laid. That'd be fun,
some
though.
of them were real easy. Some of them were real easy to do it.
This sounds kind of familiar.
Which girl you would get? I forget. He had a name for his dick too. It was just ridiculous things back when like high school and middle school. Yeah. That was just like, oh, cool. There's all these things I can do.
All these weird
and watch.
It was just starting to let us know how weird the internet was going to get.
What is it? Newgrounds. That was the site. Newgrounds
had a bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So at least now we have a plan for next time.
Yep. You have to learn about my me riding dirty and why I don't drive anymore. Spoiler, you know, it was a choice of stop drinking or stop driving, and I got to be honest, I had a good run driving. I had a good run. It was a good run. I'm going to be the responsible adult and realize, I can't do it anymore. This is, nah. After 3, ain't no fourth time. Ain't no fourth time.
No. At this point, I think you got the hint.
Yeah, I got the hint. I'm turning my keys for my beer.
It's 9/11 right now, so I guess that's a good time to stop.
Yeah.
But thanks for doing it, man.
Yeah, no problem. I
had a good conversation. I'd like to do it again.
Yeah, anytime. Get into it. I've got plenty of stories.
There you go. We got something for next time.
Yep.
All right. Thanks again, man.
All right, man. Take care.
You too.